Hey everybody, welcome to Garage 36. I'm Harrison Rhodes, and today we're going to be breaking in my new Diamondback DB10. This one's in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's actually my first AR platform rifle. Thought about going with an AR-15, but I have a couple buddies that have that and kind of wanted something a little different that I could potentially use for hunting down the road. I have a 30-06, it works pretty good for that, but this is kind of more of maybe a bench gun or a prone gun just because of how heavy it is, but pretty cool. Got it paired with a Harris bipod with adjustable clicks, 6x24 by 50 Vortex scope. So this thing's a bad machine. Today I'm gonna kind of knock out two birds with one stone. I'm gonna break in the barrel and I'm gonna sight in the scope kind of at the same time. Ammo right now for this gun in the 6.5 Creedmoor is about $2 a round. So probably won't be spraying this thing in any ponds anytime soon. That's a pretty expensive round to just be throwing away. So we'll get a couple shots off today, probably shoot a box or two and have a little fun. So when I threw the scope on the rifle, it's not bore sighted. I don't have one of the little laser bore sighters for the AR platform. It's a little easier on a bolt action, but for this, I actually just have a big white sheet of like poster board with a little black dot in the center. Hopefully we can hit this from about 30 yards. If not, then we'll have to get creative and see what we can do, but I think from 30 yards will be good, and that'll be a good starting point. Okay, so this will be the first round through the gun. We're at about 30 yards right now, just to make sure I get on target and get us a starting point. Wow, that is really close. I'm only like 2 or 3 inches off on the first shot, so we're only 30 yards, but pretty cool. We are on paper. We are a lot closer than I expected we'd be. This is just a big white piece of paper with a Sharpie dot. So we are on there, marked at number 1. You can kind of see where we started, about 30, 40 yards away. So we'll go ahead and back it up and try again. Got the first shot out of the way. Is a lot closer than I expected. I was hoping to be on paper, and we did that. So like I said, I'm sighting this in and I'm breaking in the barrel at the same time. So I got this Otis gun cleaning kit for this gun for the 6.5 Creedmoor. So in between each shot, for like the first 6 to 8 rounds, in between each shot, I'm gonna clean the bore, run the patches through it just to get at any fouling that was there during the shot or during the machining process for the barrel, just to make sure we get a clean break-in. So I'll do that for the next couple shots and we'll continue to sight it in as we do that. So I cleaned the barrel, backed up to, I think I'm at like 55 yards. So we'll shoot one from here, and then if we need to make an adjustment, we will. We'll make an adjustment after this one. We're about maybe 4 inches high, 4 inches left. So we'll do a couple adjustments for that. There's our first shot, and second shot's a little higher. So we're gonna break out the old handy dandy tape measure, and let's see, I'm about 3 inches left, and wow, about 3 inches high. The second shot is done. We are about 3 inches high and 3 inches left. So the scope does adjustments in quarter MOA, so 3 times 4, so I'm gonna do 12 clicks down and 12 clicks to the right, and that should put us about where we need to be. So we made the adjustments on the sight at 50 yards and we cleaned the barrel. Let's go ahead and fire our third shot at 100 yards and see what we need to do from there. That third shot was about 4 inches left and 2 inches low, so I'll make that adjustment on the scope. I actually probably made the wrong adjustment because I was at 50 yards on the previous one. The quarter MOA is at 100 yards, so it should be right now. So I'll make that adjustment and I'll clean out the barrel again and we'll get going. We're pretty close now, just a hair low. So it's actually a couple days later. The last time I was out here, I actually got rained on about my 5th shot at the target. So we'll resume where we left off and get this thing dialed in. Pretty good. All right, we're gonna get the barrel cleaned out and we'll do another shot. And I think we'll get into 2 or 3 round groups from there and kind of end the barrel break-in process. We are getting closer every time, kinda. That was my first shot with the new target, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So just getting used to the trigger weight and all that stuff. I'm sure I pulled that shot. I'm actually gonna make an adjustment so that probably gonna bring it a click right and a click down just to get this aggregate a little closer to the center. So thinking this was just a pulled shot, so we'll make another adjustment and see what happens. Got the new piece taped up. Got a fresh starting point. Also, this just kind of shows you don't need fancy targets to shoot at. Poster board or cardboard works, and a Sharpie works pretty good. Okay, on that 3 round group, it's still a little wider than I'd like it to be. You got 1, 2, 3. I know I pulled that one. I felt that one fly away. It didn't feel good, but that was our last shot, so we're looking good. I think before I make any more adjustments, I'm gonna try to get that grouping a little smaller. This is the only batch of ammo I've ever shot out of this gun, so it might, like certain ammo is better than others, but for the most part, I'd like to get that grouping a little tighter before I start making any more adjustments. So we'll kind of finish in our barrel break-in process here. Sweet, both of those were in the circle, so we're getting a little tighter. We got 3 more shots left in this box, and then we should be good for the barrel break-in. So we'll get that done. But if you'll take a quick second and subscribe and like this video, that would really help us out and we'd appreciate it. We got 3 more rounds to go through and then we'll be done with the barrel break-in. We are getting dialed. I am super happy with that. I pulled the first one, pulled it down. I knew as soon as I pulled the trigger that one was gonna be bad, but the second 2 were spot on, so I'm super happy with that. That was the last 3 shots for this box. So like I said, that was that first shot I pulled. I knew that one was bad. But then I believe it was there, and there were my last 2 shots. Obviously this is only at 100 yards, but that's kind of all I have to work with here. It'd be fun to go to a range and really stretch this gun out. It's obviously more capable than 100 yards. So we'll go back and clean it up and kind of go over my final thoughts. Just wanted to mention, this is what I was shooting today. The Nosler, where is it at? 6.5 Creedmoor, 140 grain ballistic tip bullets. Everything cycled well and happy with that. It'd be fun to kind of try some different ammunitions and see if we can get any better groups from that. Well, I gotta say, overall, I am super excited about this purchase. This gun is a lot of fun to shoot. Being that it's a semi-auto and the big muzzle brake on the front, the thing has virtually no recoil compared to most bolt action rifles I'm used to. So a lot of fun to shoot. You're not blowing your shoulder out. The trigger's really nice. It's a light pound trigger, maybe 2-3 pound trigger. A little easier to kind of surprise myself with that trigger and not get as much pulling action. I did find out while I was breaking in the rifle, for what you saw, that maybe the first half of the time I had my elbow on the armrest of the chair, and when I switched over to putting that on the table, my groups got smaller, and overall I was just kind of able to hold a tighter group. Really enjoyed the scope and the bipod on this gun, so looking forward to stretching this thing out to some long distance. But thanks for following along. We'll catch you on the next one.